Welcome to the Word on Wednesday. This is your midweek online Bible study and devotion, Mackville Christian Church. This is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. I look out my window right now. It's raining, it's cold, gloomy, or at least cold. It seems to me cold. It's really not that bad, but we're just not acclimated to it. But when I think about what dreary week we've had, I think about what a wonderful day we had at Mackville Sunday. Sunday morning, we had 46 in attendance. That's a great day. That's the third highest attendance we've had this year. Sunday night, we had a great harvest party with a lot of children from both our church and in the community coming with us. But what made Sunday so good in my mind was that we were together as a church, and as I was preaching, I saw so many people that just appeared to be fully engaged in the message. I saw people nodding heads. I saw people, it looked like they were taking notes. I can tell you, I was energized as well. I felt like the Lord was moving Sunday. I felt like we had a great day. And the funny thing is, we had such a great day. We had some regulars that were absent for one reason or another. And so if you've not had a chance to watch Sunday's message, we always put the message online. It was on a little later this week because of the harvest party Sunday night. But if you haven't had a chance to see Sunday's message, or if you want to get go through it again, it's there online for you. It's linked to our Facebook page. Encourage you to look at that and see what Jesus said in regard to sending out the 12. There were so many lessons in that sermon Sunday that are available to us today. And there are so many things that can distract us from that mission given by Jesus. He told his disciples to go. And in the Bible, we see that his people really did go. They went. And in the book of Acts, you see an explosion in the growth of the church. An absolute explosion. We see that in the early days of the church, that it just multiplied. But somewhere along the line, things stalled, and then they soured. If you read historical commentary, you'll find there will be a lot of different theories and explanations as to what happened. But most will come back to one of two things. One is a failure to understand what the kingdom of God is, or a complacency about that kingdom. Now, as a middling historian, I'm no expert, but I enjoy reading it. I think it's kind of a combination of the two there. People misunderstood what the kingdom is, and then because of that, they became complacent. I pray that never happens to Mackville in the future. And I want to remind you of something, of how valuable the church is, how valuable God's kingdom is today. I want to remind you of something that Jesus said in Matthew chapter 13. Two very short parables, but man, they are loaded with lessons for us today. Let's read along with me. I hope you read along with me. Matthew chapter 13, starting at verse 44 through verse 46. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who, on finding one pearl of great value, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Like I said, those two parables are very short. They're very direct, but they are full of teaching for us today. The kingdom of heaven is so valuable that it's like a field. That a man finds a treasure, he hides it, then he sells everything he has to be able to go buy that field. That's how valuable it was. The kingdom of heaven is like a pearl that is so great that the merchant sells everything else he has in order to buy that pearl. Did you catch that? Did you catch those two things? What is the kingdom of heaven? What is the kingdom of God? Obviously, in the broadest sense, everything is, because God's in control of everything. God made everything, and He's in control. He's the ruler of everything. But in the narrower sense, and I think this is what Jesus was saying, it's a reference to those who follow Jesus and the blessings that we have through Jesus Christ. It's those who have fully given themselves to Jesus. In fact, what did Jesus say about His kingdom? He said, "My kingdom is not of this world." It's a kingdom that's not subject to human boundaries. It's a kingdom that's bound together through Jesus' blood. It's a kingdom of people who have professed their faith in Him. And we call that kingdom the church. Jesus told Peter He was going to build His church on a rock. Here He says the kingdom of heaven is so valuable that it's like treasures that people sell everything they have to get that treasure. Wow! That's just amazing. And we have to have that same worldview. Folks, I hope that we see that need to focus our worldview. As God's kingdom we switch it, we change our view of God's kingdom. Not as just something we participate in or are a part of an hour or two each week. But it's something that means everything. I am willing to give up everything for God's kingdom. That's the attitude we have to develop. It means transforming our worldview from one that tries to fit the kingdom into our schedule, really in reality a consumeristic type faith. It means being willing to give up everything for the one who has given His life for us. The one who has truly suffered the penalty we deserve, which I talk about a lot. He did that so we could spend eternity with Him. There are times that just blows my mind. But that's God's love for us. He gave everything for us, even though we have rejected Him through sin. That price that God gave for us was steep, extremely steep, His Son. And so because of that, His call to us is not cheap. He wants everything. You know, we're coming up on the start of November. Sunday's November 2nd. November the 11th is Veterans Day. That's a day set aside to honor all U.S. veterans, regardless of when and where they served. My father was a World War II veteran. He was serving in the Philippines, getting ready for the invasion of Japan when the atomic bomb was dropped. I'm proud of his service. He went full time in military, retired military. People in my family served in Europe in both World War I and World War II. People in my family served in the Pacific Theater. I served in Korea, Bosnia, and Iraq. I had friends served in Vietnam and Afghanistan. I had family and friends that served in the Army and in the Navy, the Air Force. They've served in wartime, they've served in peacetime. And I'm very, very glad that they fought for the freedoms that we enjoy. But I often think of the ones that didn't come home. Some of my friends lost loved ones in battle. I've met veterans who politely decline to discuss their experiences because of the pain they suffered while in that battle. Yet all of them continued to carry out their mission as best they could. You know, Jesus gave us a mission. As I said Sunday, it's not easy. It's not easy. But He expects us to carry out that mission. My challenge to you is let's carry that out. Jesus has our backs. As we said Sunday, Jesus has our back. But let's continue to value His kingdom. Put it that it's worth everything. And let's live our lives in a way that puts our premium on a relationship with Jesus. Nothing else matters beyond that. Not just lip service, but be fully engaged as followers of Jesus Christ and serving Him. Folks, I pray that we will continue that at Mackville Christian Church. Let's continue coming together, lifting each other up and encouraging one another. Folks, I challenge you to be together this Sunday. We can have a great, great week at Mackville. Let's come together Sunday, lift Him up, and encourage each other. I love you very much. See you Sunday at Sunday school at 9:30, worship hour at 10:30. As I said, I love you very much, and I can't wait to see you then. Have a great week. Take care.